That part right there, that's good. Eric says, today I'm happy and grateful that we are on a millionaire path to success. I'm so happy and grateful that we impact lives for the greater good of our society. Come on. I'm so happy and grateful God's grace is enough and his only son was sent to give us eternal life. Amen. I'm so happy and grateful now for my mentor and all they do, for my mentors and all they do. I'm so happy and grateful for to be in the space of wealth knowledge. Come on. Gerald says, I'm so happy and grateful now for the grace of the Most High to wake up with another chance to get it right. I'm so humble and grateful for family and always growing and striving to accomplish goals while changing my paradigm. Come on. Keisha says, I'm so happy and grateful now. I'm still here, tearing down every barrier that stands in between me and my destiny. Come on, Kira. Kira. Caitlin says, I'm so happy and grateful for my expanding network, like-minded individuals of another day to continue growing. Darren says, I'm so happy and grateful for life, for growth in my business, and be able to see my dreams come true. Kira says, I'm happy and grateful for not giving up on me. Come on. I'm happy and grateful for choosing me. Come on. Portia says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm able to impact lives worldwide and make money from my phone effortlessly. Mercedes says, I'm so happy and grateful for life, another day, good health, my family, and retired at 365 family, abundant life, and freedom in this life-changing opportunity. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it here, man. I absolutely love it here. Mahogany, got two more. I'm so happy and grateful now for freedom, for the money mindset that I thought that I was taught as a kid, that I'm one day closer to retiring myself. Come on, that's it. I'm so happy and grateful for this opportunity to grow and at high vibrations this morning. Come on, let's go. So I love it, man. I love it. Listen, I've been really meditating on what Paris taught on the Just Run call last evening, yesterday. Um, that leadership, and this all ties into what I said on the morning motivation on Tuesday, that me versus me. Um, and just so we're all on the same page, guys, leadership is influence. And when it comes to building this business, when it comes to getting to higher levels financially, you got to understand something. Before you can influence others, you must first learn how to influence yourself, right? You got to be able to give yourself an instruction and follow it. You got to be able to keep the promises that you make to yourself internally. And this is so important, right? Some people on this Zoom or this webinar right now, you never stuck to what you said you were going to do. You start something and don't finish it. So when you make a decision to do something, it doesn't mean too much because everything you've ever done, you always gave up. That has to stop right now. If you want to get to higher levels financially, you really got to learn how to keep the promises that you make to yourself. You won't do what any mentor instructs you to do if you don't believe internally that you really are committed to accomplishing it. Right? I really want y'all to understand how simple it could be to get to the next level financially. Right? Because some will have you believe that success is hard. Success is simple, right? Not necessarily hard, it's simple. But what's easy to do is also easy not to do. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. I always use this as an example. When you have a job, how you feel doesn't matter. You show up because you know you need that paycheck, right? You show up and you do exactly what you need to do to make sure that that paycheck is coming, right? And you've done that consistently because you had to. What if you took the same approach to your life and elevation? You show up every single day because you have to. You do the trainings because you have to. You follow the instructions of your mentor because you have to. It's the only way out. I know for me, when I first started in this industry, I had a very, very strong understanding that there is no plan B. If I don't make this work, I'm going to work for the rest of my life. There's nothing else. Right? So for me, I had to humble myself because if I didn't, then all the things I didn't like about my job, all the things I was trying to escape, I would be stuck with it. I would be stuck with it. No, it can't be any plan B. This has to work. I pulled up the self-confidence formula. I'm gonna give a few instructions on this webinar, right? And if you're the person who everything you've ever done, you quit. If you're the person who doesn't quite fully believe, you ain't got to type nothing in the chat. Nobody has to know. This is a personal exercise. This is personal because this stuff is not just talk. These are the things that are necessary to get you to the next level. Right? So if you're the person who is trying to believe, who is holding on for dear life, trying to get to the next level, right? These are the instructions that you need to follow. This is how you start building your confidence in yourself that you know. No matter what, no matter what anybody else says, no matter who says it won't work, no matter any negative word that it comes outside, externally, you know internally, I can do this. You got to get to that level. You got to influence yourself before you can influence anybody else. And just like anything else, this is a muscle. This is a muscle. I treat business like I treated sports when I was playing in high school. I treat learning how to trade like a sport. If I do the fundamentals, I'm going to get results. It's going to show up on the field. It's going to show up on the court. It's going to show up in my bank account. It's the same thing. So I went to Google and I typed in the self-confidence formula and I went to images and it came right up. There are 5 laws to self-confidence. And this is what you got to do. If you really want to win, You'll follow these instructions, right? You want to read this self-confidence formula every day until you get to a point internally where you have that highest form of belief, where nothing is going to stop you, where you know that you're going to get to where you set your mind to go, right? And I'm going to read it really quickly because I got a couple of other things that I want to touch on, right? But you can Google this. You can Google this. Literally, I went to Google and I typed in self-confidence formula Napoleon Hill. It comes right up. I went to images, right? And David Imonitier created this really nice looking self-confidence formula for his network, Believe Nation, right? Looks really, really nice. That's how I got this, okay? Number one says, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Right? Number two says, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Number three says, I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding myself the development of self-confidence. Number four says, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. And I'm going to talk about number four specifically in a minute. But number five says, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to my memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. This is so important. This is so important. You got to get this. You got to get this. If you really want to go to higher levels in life, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in others. Right? Right? And when Paris talks about the 5 levels of leadership, I want to focus on that third level because that third level is really where money starts being made. It's really where you start getting to the next level financially, right? When we talk about the 5 levels of leadership, and Paris talks about the production level, he said the key word is results. And what do we talk about leadership? Leadership is influence, right? And when you get to this third level of leadership, you're followed heavily due to your ability to produce, and you can lead by example, right? Because people will do what they see. You attract who you are, not who you want. And that comes from the law of magnetism, right? This is the level of leadership where momentum begins. And this is where a lot of problems are solved. Momentum takes care of 80% of the problems your organization has. Momentum will take care of 80% of the problems in your life right now. You got to find somebody to inspire. You got to find somebody to help them understand, hey, listen, there's a better way and I can help you get there. I have the formula. And it's not my formula. It's a formula that's worked for other people, has gotten people to higher levels financially. I'm following the formula and it's working. And I would be willing to partner with you and we can go together. You got to find somebody to influence and inspire, to encourage. And that's when this business becomes very simple. Because I tell people all the time, I don't beg people to get started with me. I know where I'm going. I know what I have my hands on. I know when you have a very clear picture of where you're going, you don't need to convince people to get started with you. They're gonna be scared not to get started with you. Every individual on this webinar right now, you got to understand that you're special. You have something that nobody else has, right? You have a voice. You have a way of communicating this information that is unique to you. And nobody can do it like you can do it. Can't nobody be you, right? Come on, Javon. You got to convince yourself that you're going to win first. And then people will want to be attached to you. Nobody wants to follow somebody who doesn't know where they're going. And that's why that self-confidence formula is so important. That's why you have to be fully persuaded in your mind that you will get to where it is that you want to go. And when you're convinced of it, other people will be convinced of it too. Right? Watch this. There's a formula that we always talk about. Like I said, you're gonna get a few instructions on this Zoom. Because if you really want to get to the next level financially, these are the things that you will do. These are the things that you absolutely will do. I pulled up a video from our senior mentor, Mr. David Imonitia, right? And he says there's 6 components to goal setting, right? And parents always ask, where's your card? Do you have your card on you? Right? I know some people are new to the family, welcome to the family. This might be the first time you're hearing this, but some of you guys who've been around 3, 4, 6, 9, a year, if you've been around in this organization for an extended period of time, you know that you're supposed to have your goal card with your 5 reasons why written on them. And it should be on your person at all times. You know, right? If you were launched correctly, then you know you should have your 5 reasons why written down. But I want to give more context to the reason why we do that. And there's 6 components of setting a goal. Number 1, right? The first thing you got to do is write your goals down. You see, you won't do this simple stuff if you don't really believe that you're going to get to the next level. Simple. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. And this is what separates successful people from people who complain, people who whine, people who eventually fall out, people who told themselves, I'm going chairman, and then life hits them and they don't keep going because they didn't have a clear idea, a clear picture of where they were taking their life. They didn't make the decision to not let anything stop them. That can't be you. You can literally start to transform yourself internally, right? You always hear me talk about brainwashing yourself to believe in yourself. This is a part of that process. I've literally spent so much time building myself up that nobody can tear me down. Nobody can convince me I'm not going where I said I'm going. And I don't care what it looks like. It doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't matter what's happening around me. It doesn't matter who left my business. It doesn't matter what my trade account looks like. It does not matter because I made the decision to get to the next level. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. How many people you need to go chairman? How many people you need to go chairman? I always ask y'all this question. 7 to 10. That's it. You need 7 to 10 people who are going to make a solid decision. Not 500. You need 7 to 10 people who will be willing to make a solid decision to go higher financially. But you won't get those 7 to 10 people unless you are the first one that makes that solid decision. But number one, you got to write these goals down. You got to write them in a way where it's something that has already happened. I am so happy and grateful now that. And then the rest of the goal. Right? Right? I am so happy and grateful now that. Right? I make $10,000 a month residually and $10,000 a month in my trade account or in your e-commerce store, whatever you do, or whatever your goal is, right? And you write 5 of them on an index card, on a piece of paper, whatever, and you keep it on you and you read it every day, several times a day. Simple to do, but not everybody does it. Number 2, make a decision to keep your goals with you at all times. That's what I just said. Keep it on you. Don't just keep it on you, though. Take it out. Read it. Read it out loud. Remind yourself. Stir yourself up. Get excited about where you're taking your life. Successful people, they're able to make a decision and stick with that decision for an extended period of time. It took Steve Jobs 40 years to become the Steve Jobs that we know. It started in a garage and he kept going. He set his definite aim for his life. I have decided I will be a millionaire trader. I have decided that I will get to a place where I'm able to make $1 million a day. I have decided that's where I'm taking my life, and I'm willing to stay 20, 30, 40, 50 years to make it happen. I know where my life is going, and I have clear examples of what that looks like. On this platform, I know that if God did it for somebody else, he'll do it for me. I've been exposed to too much on this platform. I've seen too much. You get to a place where if you're plugged in, you're going to see some really, really wild stuff. And it's going to take your belief to a higher level because you're like, okay, that's possible. I've seen people make $1 million in 3 minutes. I've seen it. So therefore, I can believe for it for myself. All I got to do is continue going down the path. I've seen 19-year-olds go from 0 to $100,000 a month residually in 13 months. I've seen it. Therefore, I know I can do it. I hope y'all understand this, man. Number 3, have a date of completion, right? For your goal. A goal without a date of completion is just a wish, right? Number 4, this is critical. List the obstacles in front of you. If you know your enemy, you can defeat your enemy. List the obstacles that can try to stop you. And sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself. You got to list the things. And it could be people, it could be you, it could be habits. You got to list the things that will try to stop you, because if you know what those things are, then you can make adjustments. Right? You can catch the recording. It's recorded. Right? Number 5, create. Oh, this is good. Create your mastermind. Identify who you will be working with, right? Service to many leads to greatness. In order to accomplish your goals, you got to identify who you're going to help, who you're going to inspire, who you're going to encourage. What we do for others comes back to us. The law of sowing and reaping. This is real. This is real principles, right? In the beginning, it's just you and your mentor. It's just you and your sponsor and your mentor. That's your mastermind in the beginning. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed your faith. We're going to feed your belief. But you got to be able to follow the instructions that we're giving. And you won't follow the instructions that we're giving unless you really believe that these instructions are going to take your life to where it is that you want to go. Right? Within that mastermind, you create a plan of action. We have the blueprint. We have the plan. You don't even have anything to figure out. All you got to do is work it. Understand this, nothing great was ever accomplished by one person. It always takes a group of individuals on one accord, moving in one direction. Together, everybody achieves more. And you got to really believe this stuff, man. And last but not least, number 6, you got to define your motivation. What's in it for you? How are you going to reward yourself for achieving your goals? What's in it for you? Right? Y'all, this stuff is not like, I say it all the time. This ain't no nonprofit. This ain't no nonprofit organization, y'all. We here to actually get there, to get it, to get to the money, to get to the chicken, to get to that bread, that guap, whatever you want to call it. This ain't no nonprofit organization. We're not just saying this stuff just for our health. This stuff works. Right? Like I said, people want to follow people who are going somewhere in life. People want to follow belief. People want to follow people who really believe in what they're doing. Right? People can smell bullcrap. They can smell BS. They can smell when you don't really believe in what you're saying. They can sniff it out. They know. And that's why you got to take the time to build your confidence in yourself. That's why you got to be able to tell people, listen, if you don't get started, it's your loss. I know where I'm going. This makes sense to me. Ain't nobody had to convince me. Making money from a phone makes sense to me. Making money while I sleep. If I got a choice between working or waking up the money, I'm gonna choose waking up the money every single time. I believe easy money is a real thing because easy money is a real thing. Everybody don't work hard for money. And I just decided that I want to be in the environment where that is actually real. And I'm going to choose to put myself in that environment. You can do whatever it is that you feel you're going to do. And you can talk to your friends a little bit different. I always say this, the people close to you, the people who know you, the people that's your homegirl, your homeboy, your friends, you can talk to them a little bit different. You know me. If you have any ounce of respect for me, you'll at least come to this webinar. I ain't asking you to spend no money. I'm asking you to come listen. And if it makes sense, then we can do it together. If it don't, cool. You just gonna watch me make money. We still gonna be friends. We still gonna be cool. But you just gonna watch me make money. Period. I know where I'm going. People want to follow people who know where they're going. And that's where it goes back to what I talked about on Tuesday. It's you versus you. It's you versus you. You got to be fully persuaded of this thing. You got to really understand that this is going to work. And this can be your one thing. In life, everybody needs one thing that they get really good at to get to higher levels financially. One thing. Tiger Woods, golf was his one thing. Serena Williams, right? Venus Williams, tennis was their one thing. Oprah Winfrey, right? Television was her one thing. Tyler Perry, writing plays was his one thing, right? Steve Jobs, right? Computers, technology was his one thing. Elon Musk, right? Technology was his one thing, right? Come on, Jeff Bezos, Amazon was his one thing. And they're willing to work 40 years to see it happen. 40 years. People quit after 2 months. Can you draw a line in the sand for your life and say, I'm not stopping until I get what I want, period? You got to make the decision. I decided that trading is going to be my one thing. And since I'm going to be trading for the rest of my life, I might as well help other people make the same decision because it just makes sense. It makes sense. Not only does it make sense for me, it makes sense for everybody else too. To me, it makes sense to make money from a phone. It makes sense to make money while you sleep, period. So that's why I talk with so much confidence, because it makes sense to me. If it don't make sense to somebody else, they crazy, not me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with them. Ain't nothing wrong with me. If that doesn't sound attractive to somebody that I'm speaking to, listen, I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. Period. I'm keeping it moving. I'm gonna find 7 to 10 people that this makes a lot of sense to, and we're gonna go all the way to the top. That's it. That's it. I'm just looking for my 7 to 10. Right? And some of them on this call right now, I know who they are. They ain't going nowhere. They're doing the work. Right? They're getting uncomfortable. They're coming to the trainings. They're showing up. I know who they are. Right? I know who they are. They're following the strategies. They're in the information. Right? I don't understand people who come onto this platform, watch the training one time, a week later. What's going on? I don't understand. What? I'm blue. I don't get it. What? Listen, you watch the training one time, once? You already flustered? Get in this thing. Y'all, I'm trying to close. I'm trying to stop. I need y'all to understand, I've cried at my computer. I fell asleep at my computer. We would work the business until 10, 11 o'clock at night and then get on the charts from 10, 11 at night until 8 the next morning. Go to sleep for 2 hours, get up and do it again. I put in my 10,000 hours on these charts. I put in my time. I put in my time on these calls, on these webinars, sacrificing money to get to events. That's what it takes. This is my one thing. I made a decision. This is my one thing. I'm not stopping. And when you believe, when you know where you're going, you'll make the same decision. It don't got nothing to do with nobody else. It don't got nothing to do with who not believing. You can run through your whole list of 100 people. Everybody say no. So what? So what? 7 billion people on the planet. So what the people closest to you didn't believe? So what? So what? Keep going. If everybody on your list says no, that's just more proof to you how brainwashed people are to not believe in themselves, to really be pessimistic. That can't be real. That should show you how warped people's mentality are. It will work forever. Hit 50 and 60 years old, look up, don't got no retirement, no funds put to the side, and then say to themselves, oh my God, what am I going to do? Not realizing that they said no to opportunity after opportunity their entire life, never stuck to one thing other than a job. And when they hit 50, 60 years old, all of a sudden they trying to figure out what they're going to do to get out of work. Why wait that long? You can make a commitment right now. You can make that commitment right now. Come on, Gloria. You walking past chairmans every single day. All they need is an opportunity. All people need is opportunity. All they need is somebody to tell them and show them and really believe it. If you don't believe it, why should they believe it? They're just people, y'all. You won't die if they say no. So what? They don't believe, cool. But when you're in this environment and you see the type of money that's being made, you see how people are winning, it's easy to believe. It's easy. It's more advantageous to you to believe than doubt. It's you versus you, man. Once you're fully persuaded, once you're fully persuaded, you're unstoppable. You'll do the necessary things. You'll take the necessary action. So I really wanted to talk to the people on this webinar who are struggling to believe. You could borrow my belief. Take my belief, take my confidence. And then you take it and transfer it to somebody else. Get fired up about this thing. Because it works. It's currently working, and it's going to work for you too. You just got to outlast the beginning. That's it. It's just new. That's all. It's just new. It gets easier. Trust me. Everybody on here that's been here 6 months or longer, trading wise, they're going to tell you, listen, it gets easier. You just got to keep going. It's actually really simple. The whole time is discipline. Discipline is the key to success anywhere. It don't matter where you at. But if you never discipline yourself to one thing, how are you ever going to see success? This is my one thing. I found it. This is it. I drew a line in the sand. I burnt the bridges. There is no plan B. This is going to work. Period. Does that make sense? Right? I want y'all to leave this webinar changed and actually do it. Do it. Read the self-confidence formula every day. Take an index card. Do the goal setting exercise. Write down what you want. Right? Write down the obstacles. Understand what's going to try to stop you so you can defeat it when it happens. Do it. Don't just get on these calls and take notes. Don't fill up notebooks. Some of y'all are trying to figure out how to go chairman. Your notebook is your gems. That's where the gems are. Your notebook has the instructions in it. You've been on the webinars. You've been on the Zooms. Do what you've been taught. Take the action. Action is the only thing that's going to change your life. You got to get off the bench, right? It's okay to cheerlead, but sometimes you got to put yourself in the game. I gave a whole list, and people be like, I don't know what content to create. I don't know what to say on Facebook. I don't know what to say on Instagram. I gave a whole list of things to talk about. I dropped it in the Discord chat. If y'all want it, you're going to scroll up. And I said, if I dropped all my content, all my ideas, if I dropped it in the chat, who would really do it? Everybody is me. I drop it in there. Who's making the videos? Who's doing it? You have the instructions. You just got to do it.